Namaste बिटिया हमेशा खुश रहो बिटिया A very good morning to you all. Myself, JVN Dr. Ravi Jain, Assistant Professor, Department of Practice of Medicine at Faculty of Homeopathic Science in Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University, Jaipur. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss about leukemias. This is the picture of hemopoiesis, the cell lineage, how the cells are forming, and the different cell lineage leading to the formation of red blood cells, white blood cells. In the red blood cells, these are known as erythrocytes. We also have a lineage that leads to the formation of platelets, and in the WBCs or the white blood cells, we have basophils, eosinophils, neutrophils, monophils, and lymphocytes. I need not to go in detail of all this cycle because this you have already studied in your first and second year in detail. So let's start with the topic today. Leukemias are malignant disorders of the hematopoietic stem cell compartment that is characteristically associated with increased number of white cells in the bone marrow and peripheral blood film. So these are basically malignant disorders of the hematopoietic stem cell compartments. All right, and it is associated with increased number of WBCs in the bone marrow and peripheral blood. Leukemia in the bone marrow produces abnormal white blood cells which don't function properly. So there is increased number of WBCs, but they do not function properly. Now, what is the epidemiology of leukemias? Leukemias affect all the types of populations. Males are affected more than the females. The ratio varies according to the type of leukemias. In the etiology, the cause of leukemias is unknown in the majority of the patients, but certain factors are associated with the development of leukemias. The factors include ionizing radiations, cytotoxic drugs, retroviruses, genetic factors, and various immunological factors. The symptoms include leukemia symptoms vary depending on the type of leukemia. The common symptom includes fever or chills. There is persistent fatigue and weaknesses. There is frequent or severe infections with losing weight without even trying to lose the weight. There is swollen lymph nodes, an enlarged liver or spleen, and easy bleeding or bruising. I will again repeat the common symptoms: fever or chills, persistent fatigue and weakness, persistent or severe infections, losing weight without even trying to lose weight, swollen lymph nodes, enlarged liver or spleen, and easy bruising and bleeding. Other symptoms include recurrent nosebleeds. There is tiny red spot on your skin with petechial hemorrhages. There is excessive sweating, especially at the night, and there are bone pain and tenderness. Leukemia can be classified into two broad categories, that is acute leukemia and chronic leukemia, depending on the duration. These are further classified in the following ways. Acute leukemia is classified into ALL and AML. ALL stands for acute lymphoblastic leukemia and AML stands for acute myeloid leukemia. The chronic leukemia is further divided into two subdivisions: chronic lymphocytic leukemia and chronic myeloid leukemia. The major types of leukemia are: number one, acute lymphoblastic leukemia, that is ALL. It is the most common type of leukemia in the young children. So ALL is most common in young children, and the blast cells arises from committed lymphoid stem line. The acute myeloid leukemia, or the AML, is a common type of leukemia in the adults. The precursor cells involved in malignant processes would have normally matured into RBCs, granulocytes, or platelets. The next classification of chronic leukemia is the chronic lymphocytic leukemia, that is CLL. With the CLL, the most common chronic adult leukemia, you may feel well for years without needing any kind of treatment. So in CLL, you don't get any symptoms for years. Next, we have chronic myeloid leukemia, that is CML. This type of leukemia mainly affects the adults. A person with CML may have few or no symptoms for months or years before entering a phase in which the leukemia cells grows more quickly. The other type of leukemias are rare type of leukemias that exist, including hairy cell leukemia, myelodysplastic syndrome, and myeloproliferative disorders. Now we start with acute leukemias. Acute leukemia is the proliferation of cells which do not mature that leads to an accumulation of useless cells which take up more and more marrow space at the expense of normal hematopoietic elements. So there are more and more cells which do not mature and eat the food of the other healthy cells. Acute myeloid leukemia, or the AML, is about 4 times more common than acute lymphoblastic leukemia. So AML is more common than ALL in adults. In the children, the proportions are reversed. In the children, ALL is more common than AML, the lymphoblastic variety being more common. Now the etiology of the acute leukemia. The exact etiology is unknown, but certain factors like radiations, nuclear disaster, radiotherapy, etc. are responsible. Various chemicals and drugs like chronic benzene exposure, use of cytotoxic and immunosuppressive drugs, various genetic factors like the disorders like in Down syndrome, Klinefelter syndrome, etc. are responsible. Various viruses like human lymphocytic virus 1 infection is also an important etiology. Now we come to the clinical features of acute leukemia. In acute leukemia, the common sign and symptoms results from bone marrow failure or organ infiltration. So two things are there, bone marrow failure and organ infiltration. There is abrupt or insidious onset with the anemia symptoms like tiredness, weakness, fatigability, and marked pallor. So there is tiredness, weakness, fatigability, and marked pallor. There is hemorrhagic manifestations like skin fatigue, bruises, bleeding from the gums and nose. There are various kinds of infections like infective lesions of the mouth and throat, anal, rectal, and vaginal ulcerations, respiratory tract infections like bronchitis, pneumonia, skin cellulitis. There are symptoms of hypercellular viscosity, symptoms like headache, confusion, fits, focal neurological signs, and coma. There are tissue deposits of the leukemic cells like gum hypertrophy, various lymphadenopathies, and hepatosplenomegaly is present. There are symptoms of organ failure like renal failure. There are various bony pains that are common with osteolytic bone lesions and pathognomic fractures. There are various constitutional symptoms like fever, malaise, and prostration. Now, what are the various investigations in case of acute leukemia? In AML, the total blood cell count, WBC cell count, is greater than 5 lakh per cubic millimeter blood. In the peripheral blood film, you see the increased number of typical or atypical myeloblasts. Air rods are present in the cytoplasm, which is a characteristic of AML. In the bone marrow, there are greater than 30% of the blast cells, with marrow entirely replaced by the myeloblast and promyelocytes. There is positive Sudan black reaction. Now the investigations in case of ALL. In ALL, the total WBC count is greater than 50,000 per cubic millimeter. The bone marrow is hypercellular with depression of the normal erythrocytes and granulopoiesis. In comparison to the myeloblastic leukemia, the nuclei are round and the cells are smaller. The nuclear cytoplasmic ratio is higher and the number of nuclei are fewer. Now the management in case of acute leukemia. The most important one is the chemotherapy that is completed in 3 phases. Number 1, induction. Initial high dose of chemotherapy to reduce leukemic cells below the level of morphological detection. Number second is consolidation, that is, another dose of chemotherapy to further reduce the leukemic burden. The third one is maintenance therapy, that is, low dose of chemotherapy is administered for a period of 18 months to 2 years. So chemotherapy is completed in 3 phases: induction, consolidation, and maintenance therapy. Other line of treatment includes bone marrow transplantation. We have supportive care, and there is, in case of anemia, transfusion of RBC or platelets can be required. And in case of infection, good nursing care, isolation, and antibiotics are useful. So this was all about acute leukemia. In the next lecture, we are going to discuss about chronic leukemia. This session is powered by digital version 2.0 Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University. I hope you are satisfied with my digital session. If you have any query, please mention in the comment box and I'll try to resolve it. So this was all for today. Thank you very much. We will be meeting in the next lecture tomorrow. Thank you.